Hello, my name is Kendra Thompson, and today I'm going to teach you how to shovel the snow by a true Canadian. Before I start, I want to share a fun fact with all of you. If anyone has ever said anything to you like, if you do it right the first time, you won't have to do it again, don't believe them because they have never shoveled snow in Canada. It doesn't stop. It doesn't end. There's sometimes like a 3-month break in the summer, but other than that, it doesn't really stop. So the first option that you have is to use a snowblower if you have one. These are pretty expensive, so it might not be an option for you, but it does increase the speed and make it so you can move more snow. If you can't get one of those, there are two main options. The first one is to shovel small amounts of snow often, and the other one is to wait for the snow to pass and then get rid of it all at once. If you choose to shovel snow with small amounts often, that's what I would recommend. You would go out every couple of hours removing whatever snow is on your sidewalk or driveway. That's to make sure that it doesn't build up too much, or else it'll get heavier and even harder to move. It's also important to push the snow instead of lifting the snow, because the more often that you have to lift the snow, the more it's going to hurt your back and your shoulders. The other option was to wait for the storm to pass and shovel it all at once. This is good if you have a lot of time to use. When we, at my house that I live at, shovel all the snow at once, it usually takes us about 45 minutes to an hour just to shovel the driveway. That doesn't include anywhere else, it's just the driveway. So it's really important that you leave yourself a lot of time to get it done, because there's going to be a lot of snow and it's going to be thick and it might be drifted as well if it was windy. It's also important to stretch before you begin to reduce your back and arm pain, because if there's a lot of snow, it'll start to hurt, and it'll especially hurt the next day if you don't do it right. It's also good to remember to shovel it in layers if you're doing it all at once, because if you try to remove all the deep snow at once, it will hurt a lot and it will take a really long time to try to break through all the layers of snow. So try to do a top layer and get rid of that, and then just keep going down until you find the ground. I also recommend that you start early in the day when it's still warm, or else it will get cold at night and it'll freeze back again and then you won't be able to do it. There are many different kinds of shovels that I will show you right now. So this shovel right here is meant mainly for removing slush and little pieces of ice. So you get rid of all the snow you can first, and then use that one to kind of trim around the edges. This shovel right here, as you can see, it has a little metal blade right here. So that would be good for if there's just a thin layer of snow with ice, because that'll push the ice off the sidewalk and off your driveway. This one right here in the middle is good for if there's just a light snow, you can easily push it off your sidewalk. This one is for when you have big areas, because as you can see, the shovel is quite a bit longer than the other ones, so you can move more snow quicker. And this one is another one that you can use for light snow, but it doesn't have edges right here and here, so the snow would fall out of it more. So that's more for smaller areas that you have light snow for. Some tips that I have for you about shoveling the snow is, first of all, to dress warm. It's much better to have to take off layers because you're too hot than it is to just suffer through being cold. So that means put a toque on your head before you go out, put some gloves on your hands, wear some snow pants, scarves, depending how cold it is, 2 to 3 pairs of socks, a winter coat, tall boots that will keep you warm and dry, and make sure that it has grip on the bottom so that you don't fall and hurt yourself. Also, make sure that you put ice melting salt to remove any ice that remains after you shovel. Do not put the salt on the snow before you shovel, or you'll just have more stuff to move and it'll melt the snow into little ice patches. So make sure that you do that after you get the snow off. Remove all the snow each time it snows, or else it will melt and then it'll refreeze into ice, and then it'll make it even harder for you to shovel. If that does happen, make sure you use an ice scraper, and you have to smash up the ice and then use one of the shovels to move the ice away. Clean off your vehicles before you start shoveling, or else you're going to have to re-shovel the areas around your cars. Also, if you do not shovel in some places, you can get fined. My parents just got a letter on their door earlier this week that said if they don't get the ice off the sidewalk in the driveway, then they will get fined for not keeping their yard in order. So yeah, remember to shovel it all off at once, and stay warm, stretch so you don't get sore, and good luck on your snowing endeavors. Thanks for listening.